Hi everybody, Rob Keys here, and we are playing Star Citizen. We're going to jump into Arena Commander, and I'm going to show you some advanced tactics and maneuvers and a few of the in-flight systems. This is the Hornet. I don't actually own this ship. When I backed the game, back before Star Citizen even hit Kickstarter, I bought the basic package with this Aurora. So that's why I got the crappy, dark, industrial hangar. But anyways, for Arena Commander, they added the ability to fly the Hornet as like a training craft, so you can use it against bots in free flight mode. And right now, I actually have access to the multiplayer stuff. And I made a quick video of my first experience with that below. You'll see a link in the description for that. But for now, let's jump in and enter free flight mode so we can show you some stuff. We're going to take a look at the basics of controlling your shields, like micromanaging them. Same thing for controlling little things like lights. And we're going to show you some cool maneuvers, which are quickly becoming essential in PvP combat if you want to succeed. So, when you first step into your cockpit, you have your helm. You need to have your helmet on, by the way, to bring up the Arena Commander thing. And when you move the mouse around, it'll free look. To actually interact with the menu, just press tab and it'll bring up your mouse cursor. So there is Spectrum, which is your PvP multiplayer, and Drone Sim. This is how you fight AI opponents. And you can change modes. Dual Swarm is when you fight off waves of enemy ships, 3 at a time, with 2 AI wingmen. But we're going to do free flight, actually. So there's a Dying Star, and there's the Broken Moon. That's a nice, pretty map. But you know what? We're going to do this one. No, yeah, we're going to do Dying Star. And then we'll go free flight mode, and we will launch. So free flight mode is literally free flight mode. There are no opponents, no friendlies, no nothing. You can just fly around and familiarize yourself with the cockpit and controls and stuff. So, yeah, in my experience with the PvP stuff, what I noticed is that when I was fighting the enemies, they would always approach me, and then they'd fly by me and fly backwards and continue in their direction, because the inertia will keep pulling them in that direction, but as they're flying backwards, they're pointing at me, they're almost like a turret, and they kept blasting me away. So I was unsure of how to do that myself, but I finally figured it out, so I show you that. So, the other thing I changed the controls, I like playing classic space sim mode, where when I twist my joystick, does the roll. Now normally by default, by twisting the stick, like most flight sims, that would actually control the yaw, but when I move my stick left and right, see how it matches? That's actually controlling my yaw. So I made a video on how to switch that, because right now you actually can't bind your controls. If you go press escape and look at the key bindings, you can't actually control any of this stuff. You can't customize at all, unfortunately. That's coming later, but for now, there is this trick workaround to switching the axes for the yaw and roll, so I'll put a link to that down below as well. So for now, let's go back and look at the keyboard for 1 second. I'm going to show you the basics here. So this thing, see under caps lock here, it says you can toggle between the decoupled IFCS turning on and off. And what the IFCS is, it's the Intelligent Flight Control System. It's the basics of flying a sim. So basically, when that's on, your default mode of flight, your ship is moving where you're pointing, right? It's like a fly-by-wire system, like any other sim. But you can disable that because it's space. This game actually embraces the physics. So let me just go change view here. So obviously, see all the maneuvering thrusters? It's all based on real physics, how it would be in space to control something like the space shuttle. To rotate, the thrusters are moving. Let's give you another view here so you get a better look at these things. And underneath, you can see all the little thrusters. So the beauty of that is the extra layer of realism. Obviously, not just in your controls, but when you're taking fire and damage, if you lose a couple of those thrusters or you lose a wing, you all of a sudden you need to compensate, and it's almost impossible if you lose some of those thrusters. So it's a cool little layer, but it also allows you to do some advanced maneuvers. So let's go back in the cockpit here, and we're going to throttle up. I'm going to show you something cool. Actually, we'll go behind view. Now watch when I'm flying. It's simply moving wherever I point, right? Like any other flight sim. When I press shift, I can do afterburner. Makes it a little shaky. Now what I can do is, I can decouple by pressing caps lock, so I'll give you a better view. Maybe I'll go to something a little more bright. Where's the space station? Here. Let's fly here again. Now I'm going to, as I approach this, I'll just turn a little bit so you get a better view. I'm going to decouple, and we'll fly. Here we go. I decoupled. Now I'm still moving in that direction. I'm now flying backwards while shooting. Pretty cool, right? I can couple again, and now I'm flying back to normal. So otherwise I would just fly by any other time, but I can actually move. Whoops. Collision. Whoa! Almost collided with it. So I'm flying normally. It's flying wherever I point, and then I'm going to do a boost, hit caps lock. Now I'm flying backwards. Flying backwards, firing at enemies following me. So that is the trick. Hit it again, toggle your throttle, and now I'm back to moving. So these are your advanced maneuvers, and you need to learn to master that when you're doing one-on-one combat. This is not going to play like X-Wing or TIE Fighter or Wing Commander or Free Space, any of those games where you're in these turning battles. That's just not going to work. So if you want to get enemies behind you, you need to do the advanced stuff. Pretty cool, right? Alright, so back to flying. Now, I'm going to show you something else too. I'll actually go back into the cockpit for a second. I'm going to show you a little bit of the HUD display. Whoa. So by pressing the O key in your keyboard, you can actually toggle the lights on and off. So you can actually make your ship go dark. I don't know how to turn off the actual HUD displays, but the cockpit lights are now off. So if you want to go dark, you can stop your ship, turn off your lights, and hide on the side of an asteroid, for example. I think you can also land on it, but I'm not familiar with the controls. Let's see if I can toggle the HUD off, actually. Go to key bindings. Cycle HUD mode back. Okay, let's try it. Looks like it's a semicolon. Aha! So here's how you can look at your weapon systems. See all your little ports, and you can manually control it as well. And what's this? I think these are your shields. Yeah, so you can, in the very top, you can see the tabs. So you got, this is your overview. You have, at the very top left, you can see all of your systems, and the actual little squares represent your weapons. You can see the list of weapons in the bottom left. There are the two Mantis GT220s, those are my machine guns. The Bulldog Repeater, this bad boy. I'll give you a better view of that thing. It's actually, I don't know if you can see it there, but there's 3 turrets, 3 guns, I mean, on each side, and they're taking turns firing. And the chain gun takes a few seconds to roll up, but watch also, let me get some light in the background. When the machine guns fire, you'll see the bullets floating into space, the shell casings. See them? Pretty cool, right? All the little extra details. I'm going to show you something else cool too. Change view, zoom in a little bit. Now watch when I activate my missiles. So if I go in cockpit for a second, you can see in the bottom left the Talon Dominators FF quads. I have 4 missiles under each wing, so 8 in total, and it says unarmed. To arm them, when you have an enemy in sight, simply, well, press the freaking missile button. It's the middle click on the mouse, but for me, I'm using the Extreme 3D Pro Logitech joystick, so I'm going to press button 4. Watch what happens. Boom. Pretty cool, right? The missile flaps just came down, so now my missiles are armed and ready. I can't fire them unless I acquire a lock on an enemy target, but just to show you all the little details, from the thrusters to the weapons, the ammunition, the turret fire, all that stuff, super detailed. It's incredible. It's beautiful. This is just one ship of many that will be coming in the game, and you'll see some other cool dynamic ship designs. They actually just announced an alien ship you can purchase now. It costs $150 though. It is called, I'll find out the name for you. It's called the Xi'an Scout, and you can take a look at the official Robert Space Industries website to take a look at that. But one day, if I get that ship, I'll make a video of that as well. But this is the basic human starfighter. There's multiple variants. There's the Super Hornet. There's the military issue one. The Super Hornet, I believe, has 2 pilots, so you have a gunner as well, which is pretty neat. But this is the single pilot Hornet. Okay, so back to the cockpit for a second. I wanted to show you something for this track. So in the top left, you see a layout of your hull and shield. So those little walls to the top left, right, and bottom of the ship display are your shields. And if you want to manage them, for example, if you're taking a lot of fire in the front, or you know you're going to be charging against incoming fire, hold down the right control on your keyboard and use the numpad to reallocate your shields. Watch. See? All shields forward. So that's pretty smart. If you're going to be charging enemies, if you're being followed, taking a lot of shit from behind, or you're going to escape, you can put it there. If you know you're going to be being shot from the left, same thing. You can manually control exactly where your shields want to go. Just another layer of what you can do. It reminds me of what you can do in the X-Wing and TIE Fighter games, X-Wing Alliance, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. But in those, it was pretty straightforward. You either had all your shields forward, all your shields backward, or you doubled up, so on and so forth. This, you can control almost every direction, almost like some of the classic Star Trek simulator games. Pretty cool, right? Now, what else? Okay. The last thing I'll show you is a little something fun you can do. So, if you remember... Whoops. I'm using the mouse there for a second. If you remember the beginning of this video, I wasn't just inside of a spaceship. I was a person. So remember, you're playing the pilot, not the ship. That's the difference between Star Citizen and almost every other space sim ever made, and why this game is going to break a lot of barriers, and it's already starting to. So what I'm going to do is some Top Gun shit right here. Remember the intro to Top Gun with Tom Cruise? I'm going to put my cockpit parallel to the space station. Yeah, collision. Actually, maybe I'll get to the other side of this thing. Ship is not moving very fast. Okay, it's really dark out here in space, but I want to get... it's a little easier when you have the nice little bright background. So we'll fly towards this. Ah! Okay, I want to get in here. Alright, so I'm going to rotate. So now I'm sort of parallel. If I were to look straight up in the cockpit, I would see a space station. So move up a little bit more. Here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go back into cockpit view. And I'm going to press... Yeah, collision alert, I'm not moving. So throttle 0. I'm going to press Alt and L on the keyboard to eject. There we go. I'm going to move my joystick to the side to use the mouse for a second. Oh crap, I'm going to hit this thing. Oh no! I'm okay.
Stand by for
so I'm going to press Insert to go third person. Now, I'm in my EVA suit, but those little things in the back are actually thrusters, so I'm actually able to move around very slowly. Press spacebar to move up. I think you can press C to go down, maybe. I'm going to move towards here. Uh-oh. I want to get as close as possible to the ground. My thrusters are still working. I seem to be flying away from the station instead of towards it. No! I hope by hitting that wall I didn't screw up my chances of landing on this thing. Oh, wait. What's this? Uh-oh. I think I'm gonna get launched into deep space here. Yeah. Trying to stop moving. Oh, I think I'm going down now, finally. Just about ready. I think I'm gonna land on this thing here. So what I'm trying to do is position myself as close as possible to this ground surface. Oh, I'm just about to hit it. There! Landed. Boom. So what I did is, I was using the C for crouch to fly downward and spacebar to fly upwards, and then you can activate your magnetic boots by pressing B. And that's what I've done. There's some clipping issues right here, but you get the idea. I'm now actually walking on the surface of the space station. Whoops. I wonder if I can get there. Press B to deactivate your mag boots. So he puts his arms up and straightens his legs when you press B. So, let's see if I can fly towards the station. I don't know if I can. When I press spacebar, he seems to be gunning it. You can see the debris in space there. Beautiful, right? So again, Star Citizen isn't just about the ship, it's about the citizen you can control. And so imagine the possibilities of what you can do here. And success. So one day, oh man, the first time I did this I didn't have these crazy clipping issues. I'm supposed to be on the exterior. They'll work that out one day. But think of it, one day when there's capital ships and space stations and planets, you are going to be able to play this game in third and first person with a gun, and it's going to be a shooter. You're going to be able to board enemy stations and fight your way through to the bridge and take it over. Imagine in the persistent universe when pirates and bandits can hijack your own ship, or alliances can work together to capture something massive, like a space station just like this. Imagine this. Imagine you have a capital ship, a carrier, with a crew of 10 of your friends, 100 AI players, and you're in a big battle, and someone destroys, like, a sensor dish. And you and your engineers can take a team, exit a port on that ship, walk outside, and manually repair it in third person or first person like this. How cool is that, right? Anyways, I thought this was the coolest thing. This is not even really supposed to be a part of what you can do in the Arena Commander dogfighting module, but I thought it was pretty cool. I read some people talking about this on the official forums and robertspaceindustries.com, and I thought, you know what, I'll give this a shot. It's pretty cool, right? It's pretty simple to do. So, the graphics and details we already know are going to be phenomenal. It's just a matter of getting the features and the polish and the huge metagame working. But there you go. That's some fun little extra tidbits and stuff you can do. There's a lot to learn in terms of navigating the in-cockpit HUD and all the controls and features. So practice while you can. Play as much as that Vanduul Swarm mode as you can, and start when you're ready playing against other players too, because you can learn a lot of tactics from seeing what works against you and what doesn't. So anyways, I hope you liked this video. I'm just totally amazed by the little things this game's going to offer. Now, the main game may not be ready for another 2 years, and all the stuff I'm dreaming of may not be ready for another 5 years, but eventually, I think Star Citizen is opening a lot of doors for what will eventually be the biggest, most ambitious, and coolest space sim of all time. So like and subscribe for more videos. Leave your comment with your thoughts and ideas on Star Citizen. And if there's any other cool stuff you want me to highlight or stuff I totally missed, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video on that as well. So see you next time. Cheers.